So, a question that I get a lot is, how much should I weigh? So, while your doctor might have an answer, society might have another answer, and Hollywood might have a completely different answer than that, this comes down to a couple different things that are specific to you. Now, first things first, something we should all agree on is you should be at a healthy weight. And healthy meaning your weight is not affecting anything that's going to damage you, anything like high cholesterol, your comfort levels, if you are having pain in any areas of your body, if you are increasing the risk for heart disease, if there's anything in what you're currently weighing that is affecting maybe problems that are hereditary in your family. These are all things that you need to consider. And this is why I am not a doctor. And it's very important that you always speak with your doctor first and foremost. Decide what is healthy for you. Check and see, are you at a weight right now that's causing any of these negative things? If so, then there needs to be, some weight loss in order to get you to where those things are no longer a problem. And again, that is something that you should talk to your doctor about. That is something you should check about with your doctor. Your doctor can help you look into things like your triglycerides. They can do a blood work test and see where you are falling into different ranges at this moment. So that's first and foremost. Now, after you've decided where you need to be for health purposes, from there forward, it's up to you. You need to determine where you are the most comfortable. So if you've changed weights your whole life, gone up and down the scale like many of us have, then think back to a time when you were super comfortable and happy. Now, I want to throw out a little caveat here, because I often meet with people who are maybe in their 40s, and of course you think back to that maybe 20-year-old who was just loving life, sitting on the beach in a bikini, not, having any qualms whatsoever about their body. While getting your body to feel that way again is the priority, it might not necessarily make sense to be that exact number again. I have some people obsess over being a number, and I want to point out that specifically at different ages, you might not actually feel as good or look as good when you're older at an age you might have when you're younger. And just as a few examples, I've had some women who, lose and get to where they just look phenomenal. But because they have that like baby number in their head from when they were like 18, 19, 20, and they really want to get there, they push and maybe get down to somewhere where it's a little more unrealistic. And I've had people where they realize, looking in the mirror, and this is again all about your comfort, whatever you decide. This is not me, just throwing out my own opinions, but we've identified that they start to maybe look a little gaunt. It just doesn't sit the same on your body when you're a different age. Maybe you've had children and you have, gained a chest where you didn't have one before, or maybe spread, your hips have spread a little bit. And now not having weight in those areas just doesn't sit the same as it did when you were younger. So again, this is no judgment whatsoever. I'm not saying older people can't be super thin. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that keep in the back of your mind, if you're thinking about a weight that you were decades ago, as you get closer to that goal, keep looking in the mirror, keep checking your clothes, keep checking your comfort level, and don't beat yourself up if you realize that either A, it's maybe unrealistic to get to that specific number again, or B, just give yourself permission to be a different range at a different age and a different time in your life. Your body has changed in a lot of ways over the years. And while you can keep a specific number in the back of your mind, if you're maybe just not sure, or if that's just what's coming to mind first and foremost, just remember this is something that we should continue to revisit and continue to maybe modify as you go. So next, think about too, like, that goes along with what I, next wanted to say. And you've probably heard this, especially if you've gone to any business retreats or had a speaker come in, or if you've listened to any podcasts or maybe started a new job. I've had a lot of new jobs that I've started, like give us paperwork that was all about this. And when it comes to reaching goals specifically, have you ever heard of SMART goals? SMART. It's an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So again, this kind of ties into exactly what I was just saying. Pick a goal weight that is specific, but I want to point out again, my caveat, 2 things. 1, as we've talked about in previous podcasts, your number is always, every couple hours of the day going to fluctuate on the scale. You will not, if you pick 145 and get there, stay at that exact number every minute of every day. It just isn't possible. Not physically possible. So pick that number, but know in the back of your mind, it's a range around 5 pounds, all around that number. Specific. Pick a goal that's specific. And again, my second caveat, know as we actually make progress towards that goal, give yourself permission to change it if necessary. That doesn't mean change it like, oh, okay, I'm done. I give up. I throw in the towel. I'm just going to pick a goal that is where I am now just to be able to say I'm finished. We're saying, let's reevaluate as you continue to get to know your body as it changes. Number 1, SMART. S, specific. 2, M, measurable. Check the scale at least, I'd say, once a week. You might decide on less, you might decide on more, but that would be something. And it doesn't even have to be the scale. Just measure. It's just like when you're working and you put, in the marketing industry, it's KPIs, key performance indicators. You have to pick something that you can use to track if you're making progress. So pick some measurable pieces, whether it's the scale, whether it's trying on your clothes, whether it's, just doing like a spot check of how you feel. Make sure you're tracking these things so that you can then recognize progress. And I say, again, the scale, check it maybe once a week is one example. But if you don't decide that that's how you want to measure, fine, go ahead and use your inches. Whatever it is, make a specific goal and then figure out how you're going to measure if you're making progress and when you're making progress. The A in the SMART goals, obtainable. Be sure it's a goal you can actually reach. Once again, you might decide to change a number as you're aiming for it, and if you realize it's a little bit unrealistic. And then also attainable, making sure that the actual steps to your goal are truly ones that you can achieve. This means not telling yourself, I'm going to lose 10 pounds a week. You're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up to be disappointed and frustrated and angry and mad. Making sure that the steps to your goal are set in a realistic fashion so that they actually can be achieved. And that leads into the next, the R, realistic. Again, choosing a weight that is truly healthy, not unrealistic, something that you can actually attain, something that is an actual real positive goal that's something you can get to. And finally, timely. That goes with attainable and realistic in the sense that even if it's very probable that you're going to lose 10 pounds, make sure you can reach it within an allotted time that you set out. Don't set your goal so that, yes, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in 3 days. Make it so it's actually realistic. SMART goals are ones that you can realistically achieve in the time that you've allotted yourself. Finally, make sure that you're happy. Make sure that whatever weight that you get to makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel healthy. You've addressed the issues that you set out to address from the start, and you're confident. That is how you determine how much you should weigh. It's about, again, first and foremost, health, and then your comfort levels, making sure they're SMART goals and they make you happy and comfortable, they're realistic, and they are not too difficult to maintain. That's something else to keep in mind. So go ahead and share with us. Jump on over into our Facebook group. It's Weight Loss Motivation Facebook group. I will put the link and you can check it out. Go ahead and come into the group, check it out, share with us what your goal weight is, find out what other people's goal weights are, and then think about, are they actually something that you can achieve in the time frame that you have set down to achieve them? And I would recommend, if this is something you haven't tackled in a while, if weight is something you're really just, maybe coming into jumping on, or you just maybe haven't had a checkup in quite a while, check with your doctor. Another reason to do so is it can give you some additional measurements that you can track. Again, getting blood work done and finding out where things are with your cholesterol, your triglycerides. Those are things you can go back 6 months later after you've lost some weight, check again, and see some measurable progress that you can give yourself credit for. That's always fun and something to celebrate. So share with us in the group, let us know what your goal is, and we look forward to talking to you there. So a question